Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. Well, here I am with another lecture which is based on O levels English paper 1, which is a writing paper. Okay, let's have a look on how this paper English O levels writing paper 1. It has two sections. The first section is directed writing, which is for 30 marks, and it has only one question, while the other section is creative writing. Five topics will be given to you, and out of five, you will be choosing any one topic to write on. Now, total marks for this paper are 60, and the time allowed is only 1 hour and 30 minutes, and this is the paper code. Okay, now we'll be discussing one directed writing here, which is actually a special question for you. Now, you know that for the directed writing, we have a word limit to write between 200 and 300 words, and total marks for this paper are 30. Okay, now first of all, task has to be read. Task is actually the situation in which examiner is putting us. So we have to read it very carefully and we have to underline the key words here. You recently enjoyed a performance given by your favorite singer or group. A newspaper published an article saying that the concert was very poor for several reasons. You decide to write a letter to the editor of the newspaper to disagree with this view and to explain how much you enjoyed the performance. Write your letter, you must include the following. So before going on to the rubrics, we should pause and underline the keywords here as I have highlighted, and just repeat the situation in our mind, that the person or the group which performed, that is your favorite, and you think that it was a really enjoyable performance by that person or group, but some newspaper article writer is of the view that it was actually a very poor performance for some reasons. Now you are writing a letter to disagree. You are disagreeing with the point of view of the article writer, and you're putting forward your own reasons. So this is actually a tricky letter to the newspaper editor. So let's have a look on. Have to tell the name of the singer or group and where and when the performance took place. Remember what, when, where. Now, second paragraph will be details of what the newspaper criticized. Going to tell that those sensible criticism put forward by the newspaper article writer. Then why you thought the performance was so enjoyable. What is your point? So you have to actually nullify the points made by the article writer, and you have to give your own strong reasons to make your point that it was a successful performance by the band or by the singer. So you're going to cover all 3 points, and your letter should be polite but persuasive. Persuasive means that you have to make your point valid. So you're going to begin your letter with dear editor, and you are going to give an appropriate ending here. Okay, so first of all, we'll decide that the letter is actually a formal letter, and definitely for a formal letter we don't write how are you, how is everything going on, I hope you will be fine. That this is not the part of a formal letter. For formal letter, for such letter, that the starting has to be little sensible, like in I'm writing this letter in response to an article which was published last Friday in your newspaper, which was written by certain writer. You can give the name, and where the column writer was of the view that the performance by certain singer or group was a failure. On the other hand, I disagree with the writer's point of view, and I want to make this point clear that the concert was a great hit. Okay, so this is how you are going to begin, right? So I'm sure that you will give little planning time before writing it, and then you can come up with a good letter. Now, actually, the purpose of this video is to talk and discuss that how your paper one is set and what are the assessment objects examiner is having in his mind. What does he want to see in your work? So we call them journal assessment objects set by the Cambridge. When examiner is assessing your paper, what are the assessment objects he has in his mind, so that we also examine ourselves that whether when we are writing we are focusing on these objectives or not. So we call them journal assessment objectives. We call them journal because they are valid on both parts of the paper, directed writing and composition. So writing object one is that you can communicate appropriately. You have clear awareness of the purpose. You know that why are you writing, what is the situation, who is your audience, and who is your register. And register means that what is the level of formality. Definitely when you write a letter to a newspaper editor or to principal or to manager, your formality level will be different than when you write a letter to some of your friend. So that has to be appropriately placed. Then the second objective which examiner has in his mind, that you can communicate clearly and you can develop your ideas coherently. Your ideas are linked, okay? And your words, your all sentences, your all text, they are actually going and they all are actually centering to one idea. Your spellings are correct, your punctuations are correct, you can communicate creatively, you are using a varied range of vocabulary, sentences also. You know how to use simple, compound and complex sentences. It means that you know to use coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, correlative conjunctions, and you have you know to use good linguistic devices. It means that you know to nicely place some similes, some metaphors, some idioms, some phrases. Okay, so these are the journal assessments which examiner has in his mind. He'll be looking for these things in your writing, and I'm sure that after today's lecture you will keep this thing in your mind and you'll start working on these objectives, that you have to keep these things in your writing. You have to develop all these objectives in your writing. Now for this particular question which I have just discussed, the letter question, now the examiner has some specific objectives. Let's objectives work. When you are writing this letter, it means that you can communicate information and you can persuade also. We might ignore this word when we write this letter, but examiner has this as a key word, that whether you persuade your writer or not, you are able to make your point or not, you are using your language accurately or and economically in the given word limit. And the instructions which are given, uh, you are fully expanding on them, you are giving some extra details as well. Now these 30 marks for this question, for this directed writing, they will be divided into 15 marks for your task fulfillment. Task fulfillment, that how well you overcome the situation given. It includes your task and it includes your rubrics as well. And the remaining 15 marks are for your language. So I'll be discussing that how these task fulfillment marks will be given. So Cambridge has a concept of bands, and same band concept is valid for language as well. So I'll be discussing some of the bands with you, so that you can have a clear image in your mind that how you have to work with this paper. Okay, now there is another important point, that if any candidate he skips 2 points, it means that he'll be rated in band 3 or below for task fulfillment. So I'm sure that now you have a clear idea that what are the journal assessment objectives of Cambridge for this paper, part of the paper, writing paper, and what are the specific assessment objectives. So let's have a look on the task fulfillment. Now, I'll be discussing few of the bands with you. Band 1 is the one where the candidates will be awarded 15 to 13 marks, the highest one. Good achievement. It's when a candidate is showing good understanding of the purpose, clear awareness of situation and audience, Format is appropriate. All required points are fully developed and amplified, and they all are well organized. Okay, given informations are well used, like when you have underlined the keywords, and while you are writing a response to the question, you are actually focusing on all the words, and you are given justifying your personal opinion and interpretation. So such work will be rated as the highest. Now, band 4 is the one where the candidate will be getting 6 to 4 marks. It is when only partial understanding of the purpose is shown. And I'm sorry that most of the student in haste, they skip many things and they fall in this band. Some confusion as a situation and audience is not fully understood by the writer. Format is not correct. You've skipped some of the point, and the information you have given is not relevant. Your tone is not correct. So please be very careful when you are writing. Have these things in your mind and be very careful when you are writing. In the language marks again they are 15, and they have certain bands. The highest band is band 1, where you can get 15 to 14 marks. A quite tough task. It's the one where the language is highly accurate. Your sentence structures are varied. You know to write in all types of sentences. Your verbs are correct. Your tenses are perfect. Your vocabulary has wide range. Your punctuation, spellings, your paragraphs, they all are wonderfully placed. They are linked, and they show that you have really planned something. And I must tell you that these all things, they don't come sudden. You have to practice for it, you have to read for it, and you have to be consciously planning for it. Please start working on all these areas, okay? If you want to go for some good grade in this part of the paper, so please start working from today. This is the band 6, where the candidates will be awarded 5 to 4 marks. And I'm really very sorry to say that many students, they fall in this band. It is when serious errors of various kinds are reflected by the work done. Sentences are most probably simple and repetitive. You don't know to write in compound and complex sentences. It's mean that you don't know conjunction use. Your verbs have frequent errors, and when you shift from one tense to another tense, you are wrong. Okay, you just lose your tone. Your vocabulary is not good. It's simple, and if you're using idioms, there are significant clear errors in it. Your spellings are not correct. Your punctuation and paragraphings are either haphazard or they don't exist at all. So, well, we all make mistakes, but making mistakes does not mean that we are going to lose hope. It means that we are going to learn from them. So, from today, we are going to see to it that whatever mistakes we are making, we have to overcome them. But before it, we have to learn our mistakes. We have to acknowledge our mistakes. Okay, I'm sure that this concept of journal assessment set by the Cambridge, this idea of bands is really going to show you that what are the weak areas in your writing, and you are going to enlist them, and you are going to start working on them one by one. And when you start working on them, definitely you will see that you are improving. Your improvement is there in your work. So I'm sure that you have really paper 1, what are the sections in it, and what is the mark scheme criteria here. And I'm sure that you will definitely jot down your weak areas and start working on it. Okay, by my next video, Allah Hafiz, stay blessed, and don't forget to like and subscribe.